Everyone wants to move from green trails to blue to black way faster than they should. And that's usually where things go sideways. What is going on, guys? I'm Braden with Clock.mtb.
I'm Ryan.
And welcome to Bikes and Bourbon. Tonight we are pouring some Rock Hill Farms, which is, I don't know about you, one of my favorite pours.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. To the adventure.
All right, so on today's episode, we're going to talk about trail progression, what green, blue, black, double black expert actually mean, and why most people rush it. Green trails, they get a bad reputation. People think they're boring, easy, not worth riding. I've been down some green trails that are an absolute blast just because they don't have big jumps or big tech sections. One of the funnest ones I've been down is down at Howler Bike Park. I'm drawing a blank on the name of that trail.
Roller coaster?
Stroller coaster.
Stroller coaster.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, it's not a difficult trail, but it's a lot of fun. There's some berms and you can get some speed. Some of the green trails down in Bentonville, they were a good time.
Yeah. And I mean, one that we kind of complain about as of late because of the dirt, but
Discovery Ridge
is going to be probably one of our favorites because of his son and my grandson. And being able to take them there and get them experience out on those trails. And it's not the funnest dirt, but yeah, I would say it's one of the funnest because of the memories as, grandparent and a dad. So, yeah.
I mean, green trails, they're going to help you learn a lot. Balance, braking, cornering, carrying speed, all the stuff that you need to go into a blue or a black to get those basics down. If you can't ride a green trail, a blue is just going to absolutely expose you.
Yeah.
Most blues, at least.
And one I was going to bring up real quick, grindstone, right? Green down along the creek. Learning how to go fast and being able to corner around those trees and ride along the creek. And it's only a 4-foot drop, You talking about the blues? Look at the blues we just did last week.
Yeah.
Or last weekend. So,
Yeah. So the greens, don't be afraid, especially as a newbie. If that's where you're at, definitely work on the greens, learn some skill progression, get yourself comfortable. But some of those, if you push yourself on them, they can be a lot of fun. They just get a bad rap.
I mean, we started off in the greens this past weekend, Wildwood on the flow trails.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I think depending on where your skill level is at, you warm up on the trail system, usually 1, 2 below. I've seen some pros ride some lesser trails on some of their videos. So, yeah, don't miss the greens at all. And there are some fun greens out there where there are some jumps and some tech, some chunk, all of that.
Yeah, I mean, then your next step up is going to be the jump to the blue trails. This is where most people tend to want to go right away. More speed, more features, more real riding. But what actually can happen is you bring green level skills to a blue trail and everything feels sketchy and out of control. That's not necessarily the trail, it's you in that case if you're not there.
You can get hurt. It can scare you to where you go, this isn't for me, and you quit. Whereas if you stayed a little longer in the greens, progressed a little more in some skill areas that you may have needed in those blue areas, next thing you know, it went from you quit to a lifetime passion.
So I mean, I know you'll learn a lot on a blue trail. What are some things you think you learn riding the blue trails?
I think that you learn in Kansas no more.
Yeah.
You learn that there's levels to blue trails. What one place might call blue might be something entirely different somewhere else, like a green. There might be certain sections of blue where you're like, that wasn't a blue, that was a black. Potential, again, last weekend. The point is that I think what you'll end up learning is that you need a lot of work, especially when you're first getting out on blue trails, because you just said it. It's going to expose a lot of things, and it humbles you very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to teach you better line choices, controlled braking, reading the terrain. A lot of that's where progression really tends to happen with your riding.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think blue trails necessarily make you better. I think they show you what you need to fix.
Definitely.
To progress on that.
I would agree with that.
To me, the blues really get you an entry point. You can get into some jump trails on the blues. Main difference that I typically notice is you've got clean tabletops. Not really a big lip on them, but you've got jumps that you can roll pretty easy. Around here, some of the tech trails that are blue still get pretty gnarly. There's some good tech, some good chunk.
Yes, I would agree.
But it's mostly rollable. It's not going to require you to drop into some rocks. So it's going to test you, but it's a safer option to get
I would agree. And
comfortable.
And we can't not bring up, too, the type of bike that you're riding, when you're starting off. If you're on a hardtail, when he's talking about the line choices, it's very, very fundamental step in learning line choices with that hardtail versus a full suspension where, like we like to say, you can monster truck over a lot of things.
Yeah.
And eventually not having that line skill will eventually get you. Even if you can monster truck over a lot of things, you still got to be able to pick the right line to be able to monster over.
Yeah.
I do think that bike that you're on does also play a little bit of part into that. But you're going to get exposed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
that you're going to find, I would say the majority of trails are, I'm going to say the highest percentage are probably blue.
Yeah, I would agree.
That you see. Now, I've ridden blues that should be a green or a light green. I've ridden blues that should be a black. So it really depends on who rated the trails, where you're at. But they offer a lot of fun. They give you some tech. They give you some jumps.
Mm-hmm.
You can take safe line choices if you're not comfortable with it. It's great. Even as a newcomer, it's great. As an experienced rider, it can be a heck of a lot of fun too.
I would agree.
Then there's black trails. Everyone says they want to ride black trails. Not everyone should yet. Black trails, bigger consequences, more technical terrain, and a lot less room for mistakes. And if your skills aren't there, you're not riding, you're surviving at that point.
I would agree. As somebody that suffered a 2-week injury this year because of a black, my recommendation is if your skills aren't where they need to be and you're on a new bike, don't try a black yet.
I mean, technically that trail's not graded, so...
Yeah, you know as well as I do.
I thought it was a green trail. I don't know why you crashed on that. You all right?
Yeah. How'd that drop do you? That first one?
I did stay on 2 wheels.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't drop it. I rolled it because I didn't have the line.
Exactly.
What did we do? I kind of rushed it.
Yes and no. In some ways, I would agree that we did rush into some blacks, into blue blacks, what I'll call. Um, but I also think that we put in a lot of work last year.
We did.
We rode and did a lot of sessioning things. I know that you did things on your own. I did things on my own. I don't know how many times you spent out in your garage just trying to track stand. So
I mean, during the winter, we'd pull the car out and I'd just cruise around the garage doing track stands, just in here working on balance.
I highly suggest that you don't do that before sampling a couple of these. Not fun. But anyway, that's another story for another day.
Yeah. I mean, we wanted to ride harder trails. We might have skipped a few steps. I think both of us did get humbled real quick in certain instances there.
But we were also smart.
Yeah.
In regards to like Wizard, right? We went down that. But we walked what we walked and we rode what we rode.
Yeah.
And we did some things like getting on the landings and riding down those just to get the feel of those things. So, I mean, there were some things that we did do, but we did them smart.
Yeah, and I will say for myself, now I'm talking 20 years ago. I'm 43, and I was probably 21, 22 the last time I really hit the bikes hard. But I'd been riding since a young age, and I did some dirt racing, BMX, then got into the mountain biking. That 20 years is a long time off of a bike, but it's like they say, you learn to ride a bike, you never forget. Some of that went along. So for me, some of my skills came back. I look at stuff now and I'm like, I'm absolutely crazy if I go off this drop or I hit this jump. Now, 18-year-old me would have not thought twice about it and sent it without even pre-writing it and just hope for the best. But, progression isn't necessarily green, blue, black as fast as you possibly can. I would say for most people, it should be green until you're smooth, blues until you're confident, and then black when it actually makes sense.
I don't disagree, but I'll also add too on those blues. And even on some of the blacks that we've been on, there've been certain areas of those blacks that you can roll around or you can ride around, this, that, and the other. There have been the blacks that we've been on that don't have those features, and you have to either do it or you walk it. But the blues have those usually where they have the rollable or they'll have the ride around. When your confidence is at the level that you think that you can do that, by all means, I think that you should go and try that. At the same time, having fun, testing yourself, drawing that line in the sand, figuring out who you are, that's also part of the fun.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of it is just getting the huevos to do some of the features.
Yeah. I mean,
you come pull up to something, you're like, I know I can do this. I can't muster the mental capacity to do it.
Yeah. And, if you're with somebody else and you're both progressing at the same time or any of that, you also just end up pushing yourself. I'm going to say this. You're more advanced than I am right now. When we first started out, I was probably a little more advanced. And what I mean by that is I had a little more daredevil in me. He was looking at more line choices on something, and I'd be like, just get out of my way. I'm going. And there were times it would work out for me. There were times it didn't work out for me. And that said, it's one of those things where getting out with somebody, riding, figuring out, like I said, putting that line out there, crossing that line, where you're going to put the line next time, and do it though at your pace, because here's the thing at the end of the day, there's always another day. There's always another day to try it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, most riders move up on trails based on ego, not skill.
I would agree.
And I've done some of that too. I'm like, I can do this. It's more the ego thing. It
But we also,
for most part, has turned out okay.
but I would also agree though, or I would also say this about you and I, because this is how we do it with my grandchild or my grandchildren and your son, is that when I say there's another day, we've also done that with each other too. There's another day. If you don't get it today, you'll get it tomorrow, or you might get it next month. It's one of those things where if you're with the right people, they're going to push you in the right ways. They're going to help your skills grow, but at the same time, they're also going to understand that sometimes it's not so much a skill as it is a mindset.
Yeah.
Do I have the balls to go down that hill? Right? I mean, I'll use the example of this past weekend. You went down it? Yep. Down you went. Right? That's the thing. And honestly, at the end of the day, more than anything, have freaking fun.
That's the biggest thing. I mean, don't chase harder trails. Master the ones you're on, and when your skills are ready, you'll be ready for that next level up. The next trail doesn't feel scary; it just feels fun. That's where you want to be at, ultimately.
I would agree.
But guys, if this helped out a little bit, you owe us a like. Hit that like and subscribe button down there. If it didn't, you're still watching, so that's on you. In the comments, drop the trail that's humbled you the most. Let's hear all about it. If you've got any trails that people need to check out, leave a comment on that. See you next time on Bikes and Bourbon.